Well, it seems very exciting, Shekhar. I think especially first I have to congratulate all the young talent that actually platformed their talent for the very first time. Like you said, that most of them haven't been on a stage before, so congratulations to all of them. Young, vibrant energy is always welcome in any entertainment industry. I was very intrigued by the AV you showed us about, the modalities of how to work this entire talent online concept that you're introducing, which is the very first, I think, in our entertainment industry. And I think it's going to open various doors to so much talent that would otherwise go unnoticed. And I think since it's a click away, it gives you that one-on-one contact with that talent. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think it was lovely to see the talent that performed today. It was very fresh. It was very energetic. And the AV that I saw, I think this is an outstanding model that you have created. And it's going to solve a lot many problems that one always thought existed and didn't know how to solve them. And I think it's all there, not only for someone who's talented and looking for work, but also for someone who's trying to source the right talent for his or her job. I think, Karan, if you remember our acting years,
Indradosh, right?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Somebody told me about that recently.
I've actually, a lesser known fact that I think Ashutosh and I were in the same scene together, which I'm really embarrassed about. I don't know about him. But then subsequently, I think we're just better off as filmmakers, especially with my disastrous debut recently. I think I shouldn't talk about my acting at all.
So one went to so many offices. This is a series called Indradhanush, Mr. Anand Mahindra.
Yeah.
So one has went to a lot of offices and looking for work and all of that. And I wish when I was acting, your portal was existing then. It would have been a great help.
Yeah. Prahlad sir, I know you've got 40 years of experience of seeing this from where people would actually take it to their offices in, folio to even today.
True. We used to get lots of young people coming to office with photographs. Some touched, some not touched.
Yeah.
And some we couldn't understand why. And we had drawers full of them. And I remember all our trainees were given this job of sorting out all the rejects and the maybes and the have-beens, into little piles. And then sending, mine was the only office that actually didn't bin the rejects. We actually sent them back.
Oh, great.
Because there were addresses at the back, we actually posted them back and said, listen, sorry, but I don't think we can do anything with you, at this stage. Because they were just photographs. There was no talent, thing. You had to call them for a test. You had to do all kinds of things. Yeah. And we were known in the industry, especially in the advertising industry, for our original casting. Because we were among the few people who actually broke that barrier that all models in advertising have to be good looking.
Yeah. No, and that's a great point, sir.
Because today what has happened is that advertising is looking for real people, not just good looking people.
Yes.
Because what happens when you have only good looking people, it takes you 3 days to shoot a commercial with about 500 takes.
So I'll ask you to hold that thought because I'm going to pick on that in a second in terms of real characters. And I want to come to Salim, who, one of the reasons why we built this was to build the industry's first end-to-end technology platform, right, that allowed you to manage your talent pipeline from profiling to online auditions to selection to final auditions to casting. And I know you've traveled the world in the music space, in particular, looking at so many different types of talents. I wanted you to take that perspective and put it to what you saw.
I think it's phenomenal. The most important thing I feel is there's so much talent which is outside Mumbai. A lot of people just come to Mumbai thinking, yeah, this is the place we're going to get a chance to sing. This is the place where we're going to get a chance to score a film but you don't need to come to Mumbai with this kind of a portal. You can be in Ghaziabad, you can be in Bengal, you can be anywhere, and showcase what you have. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I go outside India, I see so much. There's so much of music out there, especially Indians, Pakistanis, who, they're great musicians, they're great singers, but there's absolutely no industry there for them. They want to come to Bollywood. That's their dream. They want to do something in the Indian music industry, in Indian film industry, but how? Yeah. How would they connect with, and imagine these people, they have day jobs and stuff like that, but they're fantastic singers. They're great. They're great artists. Some of them are great musicians. They play, instruments like sitar, and they don't speak a word of Hindi. But when it comes to singing, they can sing beautifully, whether it's a thumri, whether it's a rag-based thing, whether it's anything. Right. And they want to, that's their dream. They want to just kind of sing one film song, or they want to be recognized. They want to come to Mumbai to, to maybe just sing a little bit in the advertising industry or something like that. Yeah. So it's, for them, a portal like this is really phenomenal. They don't really need to come to Mumbai. Yeah. All they need to do is just, do this video or audio clip or whatever, and that's it. If they have something. There's so much going on Facebook, but then Facebook also has a lot of other garbage which you don't want to, read and go through. Right. So if this is talent-centric and if there's a portal which is dedicated, like TN, it really solves a lot of problems and a lot of, it really gets them, what they need.
We cast Smita Patil from a Marathi news channel. That was the first time Sham actually saw her. We all saw her and said, wow, there's a charisma about her, there's an aura. And though she's just a news reader, she projected herself brilliantly. And the rest was history. Because the first film that she ever did was Charandas Chor, and which was a little village film which was on a play, in Chhattisgarh, for that matter. And after that, of course, she became whatever she became. Yeah. But she was cast from a Marathi news channel, which some of our light boys and peons used to watch on a regular basis. And they were the ones who told Saab, look at this girl, she's absolutely smashing. And that's how she was cast. Basically, what Ashutosh is talking about is true, but what your thing is going to do is going to open up a whole lot of possibilities. Now, you look at the verticals that exist today in terms of possibilities. The film industry, at its best, is still a moms and pop shop. Okay? So its casting is done through people who are useless relatives. Okay? And so somebody's bhai, batija, useless chap, some drug addict, some guy who's come back from rehab, acha usko dal do. Because they actually believe that you do not really need real talent for male actors to succeed. Okay? The women are all from outside. And the reason why the women are from outside is because nobody wants, there's a stigma about putting your daughter into the movie industry. So they don't mind somebody else's daughter being in the movie industry. But you don't want to put your own daughter into the movie industry. Now, this is the hard truth. What I'm saying is existing for the last 50 years or 100 years, and there's residues of it coming through even now. There are lots of young producers and directors who are willing to experiment. But the hardcore industry actually doesn't want to cast new people. They want somebody who's established, somebody who's already there, somebody who's going to be their ticket to ride and who's going to give them an initial, which is what they call it. Okay? But there's so many verticals now opening up. There's Netflix, there's entertainment on the phone, there's serials, there's a whole lot of people who are now not just going to watch movies.
So ये आपका जो casting का comment है, I actually want to ask.
This is going to open up the whole Pandora's box.
I hope it's not Pandora's box. I hope it's a box of flowers and roses.
Part of it will be Pandora's box. Well, part of it will not.
But I'm going to ask Karan to comment a little bit because he is the most prominent discoverer of talent, I think, globally. And, Karan, if you could take a few minutes to kind of opine on two things, right? One is the discovery of talent that this portal can do, and two is what is going to be the impact of content creation when a portal like this gives you accessibility to talent globally?
Firstly, I think in the zone of casting vis-a-vis movies, I think a lot has changed, and in the last decade specifically. I think there was a zone in the 80s and 90s, which I think Prahlad was referring to about the useless relatives. But I think, fortunately, I never had any useless relatives, so I didn't have to bring them onto celluloid at all. I do understand what he probably means is nepotism, which I think is fairly active in the film fraternity, and that's something that we have to acknowledge and accept on all levels. But I think recently, and I think Ashutosh will share that with you, and especially directors like Ashutosh have done some fantastic, supporting casting, and that have actually gone on to create memorable characters. And in the last decade, I've noticed I would say, the initiation of the casting director who has acquired prominence. There is actually, it used to otherwise be something very ad hoc. Just like Ashutosh said, he used to go on and, kind of look at regional television. All of us used to kind of do the same thing. We used to go on television, or we used to go and just see who are in other movies. It wasn't really a structured network created in the zone of casting, which has been a recent phenomenon. And I think now the casting director actually has acquired frontline credit, and also and so many of them have been responsible, be it Mukesh Chhabra or be it Shanu Sharma, be it, I think recently the casting of Urta Punjab, which I say Hani Trehan, I think, who did a phenomenal job. These are actors that there is no way that you can actually know anything about unless it's a structured process. Similarly, so with what you have introduced has taken that structure and given it more definite structure. So I think it's completely fantastic, and one doesn't need to depend on nepotism to get talent on celluloid now. You could find it, in theaters, you could find it in regional cinema, you could find it on digital formats, you could find it on television shows. And it'll all be kind of streamlined with your concept, and I think it's phenomenal. How does it change and create content was your second question. Well, obviously, I think that when you do find the kind of exceptional talent that is available to you through the digital format, it of course makes you think and create characters and makes you kind of change things, and you don't follow the conventional path of creativity. I think it does give you an open up windows and doors, as I said earlier. And I'm vastly excited about the possibilities. A lot has changed, and I think it's time for us to acknowledge that as well in the movies. I think we're not making the kind of content that we used to. There is a paradigm shift in terms of what we want to project our cinema to be. There will always be the mainstream, there will always be the playing to the gallery, but there is also so much unusual filmmaking that is going on that is finding a large acceptance. Then similarly, like what, I think, what you said about Samir, there is so much digital television about it, there are web series, there are so many formats and portals that can actually take our entertainment and give it a totally different color altogether. It's not just film. Film is not the be-all and end-all of anyone's existence. I keep saying that film is maybe aspirational, film is like the big screen medium, but let me tell you, there is a large diminishing effect of the power of film. It'll always remain as the mother of all entertainment. Celluloid will always have its charm. We can't call it celluloid anymore, actually, it's digital, so that itself kind of kills a certain aspect. But I mean, everything is moving into different formats. If you go to America, I mean, what is, barring the big event film, the franchise film, or the adaptation of this tremendous book, the film, the regular film, has completely made its way to television. Right. Everything, everyone is watching. So there's so many opportunities that give so many opportunities to music, to actors, to all kinds of talent, that, they shouldn't just feel like that bomb Mumbai and the film industry is your big dream. It used to be the big dream. It's now not a nightmare, but it's definitely between a dream and a nightmare.